Good evening, and welcome to the Nightly News. I'm Kendall Thomas.
And I'm CJ Grace.
This Wednesday, March 22nd, students are invited to meet the counselors from the Counseling Center in the dining hall from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Ever had any questions about our Counseling Center? They provide free and confidential services for all students. Stop by to say hello or ask any questions you'd like. On Thursday, March 23rd, students are invited to the next Meet the Expert session featuring special agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Career Center will be hosting 2 sessions with representatives from the FBI on the 3rd floor of St. Joseph Hall at 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. They'll also be tabling at 11:30 a.m. in the EAC between Starbucks and Camelot. If you're interested in data analytics and data science, this is an incredible opportunity. Register for the FBI Meet the Expert session at the link down below. The BSU had multiple events scheduled for Black History Month, but one by one, events were canceled and nobody had any answers. Field Correspondent Dahjia Thomas was able to speak with members of the BSU e-board.
With multiple events being canceled, members of the BSU club have felt unheard and unseen. I spoke with the president as well as other members of the e-board as to the problems they've been facing.
It's an interesting position in that I'm there to support the students, support the club, help them kind of navigate the waters of the college, and just support them in any administrative things they might need.
Nehemiah Kennedy, Assistant Director of Community Service, who also serves as BSU's advisor, gave us some insight as to her involvement with BSU during the Black History Month events.
My involvement in some of the events for Black History Month kind of were here and there, being able to support in ways of just figuring out what the events might be, the ways in which we can carry them out that makes the most sense for the club and for students. And also trying to figure out how to navigate some of the logistics that just happen with events.
Multiple BSU events were canceled during Black History Month, many students clueless as to why. Nehemiah seems to think this was due to scheduling conflicts as well as lack of communication between both parties.
I've definitely seen times where miscommunication might happen or not being aware of certain processes that have to happen for things to run smoothly. And it's just about making sure that you know what you need to do in order to have something move smoothly.
The climax of the issues between BSU and administration started at this bulletin board in the EAC. BSU noticed there was a poster associated with drinking over their board. PR Representative Kiana Mitchell was the first to witness it and take action.
I first noticed it on February 24th. It was a Friday around like 5 p.m. I was very shocked and disappointed by the plastering of the poster on the board. Just to see like all of our hard work and efforts to show a safe space for Black and minority students being like tampered with was very disheartening. I think it just shows how much they didn't really care for the stuff that was posted on the poster posted on the bulletin board, because I've never seen that done to anybody else. It's like, especially when it was Spanish Heritage Month, I've never seen that happen to anybody else's board. So I think it just shows how much they didn't really care. It's one thing to not care, but it's another thing to show that you don't care.
We also spoke with BSU President Alexis Anderson to get her input as to how administration has treated BSU during her tenure as president.
Majority of the events were canceled, one because of scheduling conflicts with my e-board. I felt that if most of my e-board members couldn't be there because of classes or work, it made no sense for us to have it. But on the other hand of things, it was just faculty just didn't support us in the things that we wanted to do. So if they weren't going to be supportive of us, we was then we should just not have it, because we want this to be not just a student-led club, but we also want students of different color, of different races, and faculty to also be on the same page as us. Because I feel because we're Black Student Union, there's just stigma of if you're only Black, you can only be a part of it. But I want it to be everyone can be involved with it. Everyone can go to our events, everyone can come to our weekly meetings, everyone can be a part of something, not just for students, but also faculty. For our gala, the first thing they had told us that we shouldn't call it a gala, and I didn't know that Rose Records was going to have a gala also, so I'm guessing they didn't want the miss thing of galas, but ours was going to be the Black Excellence Gala, while theirs was the Rose Records Gala. And then the other thing was the food aspect of things. We stressed the fact that there should have been cultured food, and in the past we have seen that the campus can't really do that, or they can't fulfill what we felt like was needed. So when we didn't get that and we decided that maybe we should cater it, we were also told that we couldn't do that, and we also couldn't cook the food. So we were like, all of our options are basically nothing. And if there's no food at this event, students are going to come. Because being students, we would go to events that have food and stuff like that. So if that's not there, why attend those things? I never thought, because I saw other clubs do it, I assumed that we can do the same thing. So it was like never a thing like, oh, let me tell faculty that we're doing this. Because other clubs have done it in the past, and I've never heard them say like, oh, we had to ask faculty. Like, they just did it. Really sitting down and thinking about it, I was like, nah, there's got to be a bigger picture, a bigger issue that's in place of why Black Student Union can do it, but another club can, regardless of who's running it or what the majority of the gender or race is. So I was like, if they're telling us no to most of the things that we want to do, but other clubs can do it, that's a problem. In the past, I would have probably said that it was just they were following rules or whatever the case may be, but when looking at what past BSU has gone through and what we're currently still going through, people have in the past talked about what the issue is. The school says they're going to do something about it, and then a year and a half goes by and we're still going through the same thing and nothing has changed. So maybe in the past I would have said that was because they were following rules, but now it's you're deliberately doing this because people have said it on multiple occasions what the issue is, and you're not changing it. So if I attend a club and they're just doing something that maybe we had an idea of doing, security's never there. But if we're having a simple paint night, security sitting there, and it's not like you're participating in the event, you're just watching us from a distance, and it's like we're literally sitting here painting with other students. Like, it's never like this. And I feel like in the past, obviously it's because they're too rowdy, they're too this, they're too that. Like, it's always a negative impact on the Black Student Union. So it's like now it's like, all right, let's keep an eye on them, a better eye on them than we have in the past, or let's make sure that we're monitoring them as best as we can. But other clubs don't have to go through that. Yeah, it is a big slap in the face, but it's also like I knew what I got myself into being the president of the only Black club on campus at a PWI, and also like, it's society. Like, I'm gonna have to go through that for the rest of my life. We're gonna go through that for the rest of our life. I just assumed that because we were on campus and it used to be such a friendly and happy place for me specifically, I just gotta suck it up and get used to that part.
After speaking with members of the BSU e-board, it seems there's more deeper issues in play. Saint Rose faculty members have been giving the same treatment to past BSU clubs as history seems to repeat itself. For Saint Rose Television, I'm Dahjia Thomas. Back to you in the studio.
Centennial Hall housing selection applications are due this Wednesday, March 22nd at noon. Applications must be submitted in person at the Res Life office, which is located at 204 Partridge Street. Their office is open weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you're planning on applying, make sure everyone in your group has cleared any holds on their accounts and has completed the online returning student housing application. The Office of Academic Advising has rescheduled last week's accelerated/dual programs fair for Tuesday, April 4th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the first floor of the EAC. Come learn more about the availability of accelerated and dual degree programs on campus, including our MBA, Computer Science, Aspire, all grad psychology/ed-psych/school psych, and CSD programs. Faculty will be on hand to discuss these programs and potential eligibility with students. This past Saturday, Saint Rose hosted accepted students in the Masry Center for the incoming class of 2027. Field correspondent Abby Bravo was there to capture first impressions of the new members of our Golden Knights family.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Masry Center for the Arts at Accepted Students Day, where potential Saint Rose students come and meet student clubs, faculty, and get to know the campus a little better. Saint Rose clubs lined the hallways of the second and third floors of Masry on Saturday, March 18th, as families were welcome to walk through.
We were tabling for the English club here at College of Saint Rose. We got a lot of interest, a lot of people seem interested in the club and in the school itself, which is awesome.
This day is meant for incoming students and their families to see what campus is like and to get a feel of the community that they will become a part of.
The community? Yeah, I think, like I said, everyone's really friendly here and nice. I'm excited to make friends.
I mean, it's great. If you're not coming here, you're missing out.
Students were encouraged to take pictures with the school mascot, Fear, enjoy food catered by the dining hall, and talk with clubs during their time at Accepted Students Day.
I think it's important just because it shows people that not only what clubs we have, but we feel very inviting, so they don't feel awkward in terms of when you get on campus and then you have to seek these clubs out on your own. You kind of already have some inside information.
Over the past few years, Accepted Students Day has looked very different as the college attempted to work around the pandemic to make their new students feel welcome.
This one has been amazing. I mean, last year's was great too, but we were still in that weird shift of we're kind of COVID, but now we're not. So for this one to be back to what it was previously has been really great to see. I mean, we're all together in one building, and previously we were in the gym, so it was just a little tight corners, but for here you've got all the light coming in and people passing, and it's nice to just sit with your colleagues and sit with other students and talk to them while they're talking to our incoming class.
Afterwards, there were performances from Saint Rose clubs like Girls Next Door, an all-girls a cappella group, the Alana Steppers, Saint Rose's step team, and Golden Notes, a co-ed a cappella group. As Accepted Students Day comes to a close and many new faces arrive on campus, St. Rose Television would like to formally welcome the class of 2027 to the Golden Knights family. For SRTV, I'm Abby Bravo. Back to you in the studio.
St. Rose Communications Department alumni, Paige DeSorbo, will be visiting campus on March 28th to talk with students about branding and celebrity success in the digital age. She has been on 2 Bravo TV reality shows and has nearly 1 million followers on Instagram and TikTok combined. The Career Center is excited to announce 3 professional development and networking events for the second half of the semester. The Spring 2023 Career Fair will be held on Wednesday, April 12th in the Daniel P. Nolan Gymnasium from 1 to 4 p.m.
On Thursday, April 13th, the Education Expo will be back at St. Rose. Graduating students and alumni will be invited to connect with local and out-of-state employers, recruiting a variety of education jobs. The expo will be held in the Nolan Gym from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Thursday, April 20th, students are invited to attend the Etiquette Dinner, a formal opportunity to network while learning proper dining manners in the St. Joseph Hall Auditorium from 5 to 8 p.m. The Office of Inclusion and Engagement will be hosting 2 stole ceremonies the week before commencement, dedicated to celebrating and highlighting the accomplishments of our 2023 graduates within their identities and cultural contexts. The Kente and Multicultural Ceremony will celebrate and honor the value of Alana experiences, their heritage, and cultural identities. The Lavender Ceremony recognizes LGBTQIA+ and ally students of all races and ethnicities. Both ceremonies will be held on May 6th in St. Joseph Hall. The Alana Ceremony will take place at 2 p.m. and the Lavender Ceremony will be held at 5 p.m.
Come help out at our 100th commencement ceremony on May 13th at the MVP Arena. The school needs volunteers to help as ushers, program distributors, and to give directions. If you are interested or have any questions, contact Becky Bonifant at the phone number or email provided below. The newly created Saint Rose Film Club is a great space for movie buffs to come together and talk about all things film. They'll be holding general interest meetings every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Their regular meetings are Thursdays and Fridays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. All meetings will be held in Albertus 101. Come check it out.
Sabor Latino is St. Rose's first and only Latin dance team. They hold open practices every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. If you're interested in participating or just want to see what they're all about, stop by EAC 110 this Tuesday or Midnight Eats on Thursday. No experience needed. Movie tickets are back. Want to get off campus for a little bit? Head to the Student Association's office in the EAC during office hours to pick up a movie ticket for local Regal cinemas. All you need is $5 and your student ID. The Madison Theater is currently showing Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Scream 6, 65, and Champions. Check out their website for times, menus, and more.
And now with the sports roundup, Abby Bravo.
This week in sports, women's lacrosse traveled to Manchester, New Hampshire to face off against the Southern New Hampshire Penmen. In a losing 15-20 effort, Lauren Pendergast scored 7 goals. On Wednesday, the men's lacrosse team took on the Chargers from Dominican College at home at 4 o'clock. On Saturday, women's lacrosse plays at 1 o'clock against the New Haven Chargers at R. Mark and Kathy Sullivan Field. Baseball also has an in-conference doubleheader against Pace University at home. The game starts at noon and 2 o'clock. Both softball and baseball have doubleheaders at home on Sunday at noon and 2 o'clock. Baseball will play for the second day in a row against Pace University, and softball will be battling against Bentley University in a conference matchup. Reese Castanelli on the men's track team received Division II Indoor Track and Field All-Region honors from the United States Track and Field Coaches Association. Castanelli has broken the record for the 400-meter dash in the NE10 Indoor Championship. The previous record has been held since 2012. That's all for sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Abby. On March 28th, the Student Association and Office of Spiritual Life will host the Trans Day of Justice. This event is part of Spiritual Life's Heritage and Justice Week. Join them from noon to 3 p.m. in the main lounge of the EAC to write letters to lawmakers in support of Senate Bill S8842A, which holds protections for trans individuals to receive gender-affirming care. At 7 p.m., they'll gather in the Interfaith Sanctuary basement to watch a movie, have snacks, and put together care packages that have gender-affirming items and words of encouragement. Thursdays have become the designated day for Saint Rose's very own therapy dog, Eli. Field correspondent Dahjia gave students the chance to showcase the impact he's had on this campus.
Thanks, guys. We're in Neil Hellman Library outside of Rebecca Robinson's office, handler of therapy dog Eli, giving us insight into just how impactful therapy dogs can be for college students on campus. Lack of therapy dog events caused an uproar, Rebecca taking action, seeing the positive feedback from student interactions.
The students actually kept saying things at that event like, oh, I wish this was more often, why can't we have therapy dogs all the time?
Therapy dogs require certain traits when working with different groups of people. Luckily for St. Rose students, Eli is a well-rounded example.
He's very, genuinely excited and happy to just be here and see you every time.
Even with the stressful environment, students can have some relief just by visiting Eli, as statistics show therapy dogs can lower stress signals.
Oh, we go see Eli today at this time and get to hang out with a dog for a while in between classes, and it helps you get a little calm in that hectic week.
Word about Eli spread around campus, friendly being the most used to describe him.
If you have a dog who doesn't really like to be pet by strangers or is kind of shy, they're never going to really enjoy being a therapy dog. Whereas Eli is extremely, maybe overly friendly. Getting pet by a bunch of strangers is like a dream to him.
So for those scared of dogs, even Eli can break those fears.
He is the perfect level of excited and also just gentle and sweet as well.
During his time at St. Rose, Eli has gained his own fan club. Students have nothing but good things to say about him.
It's nice to have a friendly little furry friend to just hang out with.
While students see dogs around campus, Eli is the only one who has a set day, acting as St. Rose's furry mascot.
I actually didn't hear about Eli. He made himself known to me one time when I was in the library.
Almost every time I have him here, at least one student says something like, oh my god, I really needed this.
Being away from home can feel isolating for students, one saying he felt more at home on campus due to Eli.
I think I miss my dog so much, and being able to pet a dog after a couple months of not seeing one was really cool.
Students see Eli as more than a dog, a companion that brightens their day no matter what.
Eli kind of likes everything, so you can do pretty much anything.
I think he definitely can tell when you're extra excited to come see him.
Towards the end of our interview with Rebecca, she gave simple yet solid advice to those who don't know where to start in therapy animal training.
Make sure when you're doing your training you know what your real goal is, and then seek a professional training class.
We were even able to get a quick interview with Eli, caught off guard by the adoration by students.
I think even if he just reaches a few students, but they get that much relief, that's worth doing.
Eli warms the heart of his school and its students. If you want to visit him, come to Neil Hellman Library on Thursdays at 2 to 3 to see just how impactful he can be on your mental health. From St. Rose Television, I'm Dahjia Thomas. Back to you guys.
That's all we have for this week's Nightly News. I'm Kendall Thomas.
I'm CJ Grayson. You're not. Have a great week, Golden Knights.